everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Pink Lady Presents Lives Well Lived. Well, I definitely have today a life that is being lived well, and I mean very well, for the benefit of so many people out there. Dr. Sharon Stroud. I mean, just look at her. I mean, when I grow up, I'm going to be like you. I always say that to people. But actually, you just celebrated a milestone birthday.
I did.
You will never, ever guess. Okay, Dr. Sharon Stroud, how young are you?
Totally alive at 75.
Yes.
Yes. So,
And when I say to someone that you are a child in my eyes, okay, because I will be next month 87 going into my 88th year.
yes.
So, you know what? We are blessed.
And you are amazing.
Well,
You
you're
are
amazing.
amazing.
I am sitting here with a woman who you could say a million accolades. I mean, you just could. A lecturer extraordinaire. From India to Scotland to Africa to England. I mean, you name the places from everywhere. A professional speaker. 40 years who says, think globally and act locally. What do you mean by that, Dr. Stroud?
We believe in our way of life, and in the 44 years of my ministry, that our daily life is our temple and our religion. So our daily life is getting up in the morning, going through our daily round, and that we have a choice.
Yeah.
And that choice is, do I make this a celebration of life, these routines of work into celebrations of life, or is it just another day? And in our way of life, we believe in recreation. We believe that every day is a
new
gift.
day.
And it's a gift. And it's a precious present. So energetically, when we get it, that I act locally. What small random acts of kindness can we do to make a difference in a day? I love what Mother Teresa said. I saw a man today who didn't have a smile, so I gave him one of mine. And there's
love
always
that.
something
Yes,
to give
yes.
energetically, to open that portal, to realize that there are no strangers, really. They're only friends we haven't met. And of course, in my way of life and being a public person for over almost 50 years, you know, not everyone's going to love you and like you and think you're marvelous. So what I've learned to do is, I call it draw the larger circle.
Oh.
And there is a poem, he drew a circle that shut me out, but love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle that took him in.
I love that.
That's disarming. When
It
you
is.
don't give out that negative energy and you just send love. And, you know, sometimes you just have to brush the dust from off thy feet and go thy way in peace.
Yes.
Because some people are just where they are, and it's all right. Because the angel of light can reveal herself, and today they can be that. So it's not up to us to judge.
Where did you find the purpose? When and where did you find the purpose to do what you do? Because it came from somewhere. It's this inner well of liquid that comes up and just spills over to everyone, so to speak.
I love that.
So where did this come from? When, where?
I was raised in a very abusive alcoholic home and growing up. My sister took her own life. My mother was at the effect of this. But my mother used to say, you can do anything. And she didn't believe it for herself. I was born on her 19th birthday, and she named me after the Rose of Sharon in Song of Solomon.
Yes.
I am the Rose of Sharon, and the lily in the valley, as the lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters.
Wow.
So she had this experience when she was pregnant with me. She said she went out into the country to meet some of her husband, my dad, his family, and in that day, they didn't know about mental illness. If you were crazy, they just kind of shut you up. Yes. And she said she saw this relative, and they shut him up in this little hovel thing on the property. And she just said, "Dear God, make my baby perfect, and I'll dedicate him to you." Oh, wow. Well, interestingly enough, she made a declaration when I was in utero. Oh. And so on a DNA cellular level, it's like we have a destiny to fulfill. we're called to that destiny, and if we answer that destiny, then we're in our divine right place.
Yes.
And I want our viewing audience to know it is not always fun and games.
No, it's not.
It can be tremendously challenging. And I want you to know nothing happens by chance. I walked in here into this beautiful pink lady's home and her wonderful husband, and I met somebody at the table in the kitchen, and I guess she's a singer now. And I knew her 30 years ago, and or maybe it was 20 years ago. And I was called from San Diego. I had 3,000 people showing every week. I had major TV, major radio. We were really putting the word out there about our way of life. The laws of science, the opinions of philosophy, the revelations of religion applied to human need and the aspirations of all humanity. That was our mission. Wow. And so this particular ministry, and I am not going to say, was out canvassing to have a minister come in into their experience in the Arcadia area. And so they, called me, and they really wanted me, and really put it out there. And I thought, here, my mentor was there, who taught in the School of Ministry. It has 350 children in the children's school, teaching this positive way of life.
Right.
So, but when I went in, the paint was peeling. There was a handful of people, and everything my mentor had done was just like crumbling.
Oh my God!
And so, my San Diego congregation would come up, and they would donate money, and they would paint. And one was a roofer, and we were just like, in 1 year, from a handful of people, we had 600 people showing up and 2 services.
Wow!
So I went away for a month. And this person that was here today was spearheading getting rid of me from this ministry. And they made up these amazing stories. And so the board approached me when I returned and said, we have all these people now. And at first, they were upset about all these people. They said, we got blacks here, we got homosexuals, and, they were... In our way of life, we move beyond color, race, creed, sexual orientation, and political affiliation. I added that.
That's right. Amen.
So they're thinking, oh my God, what has she done to our beautiful little country club churchianity?
Right.
This is the difference between churchianity and spirituality. And I always say, how many of you have a problem with organized religion? And most people raise their hand. I said, don't worry, we're not that organized. So here she is sitting at your table. And she instigated this whole getting rid of me thing.
Oh, no.
And so they just did this horrendous thing and said that I had resigned. And then they had 5 armed guards escort me out of the sanctuary. And I said, and I was sharing, Cheryl's going to be on soon, and I was sharing with Cheryl. I said, to have her sit at the table, have me come in, and I said, talk about drawing the larger circle, right? And to have compassion for the human condition.
Yes.
Happy people do not judge outside themselves. They're happy for you. Your success is their success.
That's right.
Your success makes mine possible.
Right.
So here she is sitting at this table, and I'm, all of these, kind of memories flooding in for me, and 5 armed guards escorting me out, and they said, you seem like a really lovely woman, and we're really sorry to be, but they paid us to do this.
Right.
And at that moment, I knew who I was completely, because I share with women's groups, anyone that will hire 5 armed guards to escort you out, you better know your power.
That's right.
You better know how powerful you are. And at that moment, I got it.
And
you are powerful. And claim it, accept it, and be it.
That's right.
So we went across the street and started the church across the street. Everyone followed me.
I love it. Well, wait. So now the New Thought movement.
Yes. This
is
was
what you created.
No, the New Thought movement was created over 100 years ago.
I see. You
remember unity and religious science, science of mind, all of that.
So that was your thing that you grabbed a hold of.
I went to the seminary and I became a religious science minister. And then I went independent in 1989 and started the Center for the Celebration of Life. And that's when this community wanted me to come out to Arcadia.
So now, let me ask you a question, just so that my audience will follow this now. So you've been with now, the Temple of Isaiah.
Oh, that's where we rent.
Okay, but
we rent space.
So you've been there for how long?
I've been in Palm Springs for 18 years.
18 years.
We've been at Temple Isaiah for 2 years. Yes.
Okay.
And we were at the Camelot Theater for 14 years, and then they started doing all these film festivals and wanting us to be out four times a year.
Yeah.
That did not work. Then we went over to the Leisure Center, and then the city tripled the rent.
Wow.
So then we went to Temple Isaiah, and we worked it out with them, and we love it there. And the new rabbi is fabulous, just wonderful.
And you have services every weekend?
Every week, yes.
And
every Wednesday, I do Wednesday Night Live Spirit,
Right.
Mind, and Body Connection, and I do it on Facebook live. And then we send that out to, we YouTube it, we send it all out.
So, Dr. Stroud, from the beginning of your life, you had the obstacles.
That's right.
Right there.
That's right.
Through what I call people like yourself, a passion, a dedication, a commitment to forgetting how they are and what you went through, but you always wanted to help others.
Mm-hmm.
And
I did come in with it. I think we come in with certain proclivities and energies.
it's there.
It's just there.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
in our DNA.
I believe that also.
It's in our
I do.
DNA.
What would you say to an audience, to people? Where would they turn if they had, say, something in their life that was so horrendous, that was pushing them down, and they knew that they had it in them to get up? What would you say to them? What should they do? First,
I would say to our viewing audience, if you are going through an experience where you're down and
Right.
you need help getting up,
Right.
and you need to reach out for, I feel deeply and passionately that anyone who has gone through your experience, and they're a therapist, they're a minister, whatever, a psychiatrist,
Right.
and I have them refer their patients to me as well, that you want someone who's been through what you've been through and come out on the other side.
Yeah.
Because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
But that light truly is within us.
There are people out there who always need help, and we get it. We all, at one time in our life, need something
Yes,
there.
we do.
You said, whenever I felt the rug was pulled out from under me, I have always landed, I love this, on a higher ground. Yes.
I call it the divine boot.
Yes. I mean, I'm like, oh my Lord, she is so right, because we all have felt that. And someone or something is always, taking something from us or whatever, trying. And we just have to, just get up, like I tell people at my book, get up, get out, and get that life again.
I love that.
So what advice would you give people, Sharon? What would you say to them?
I feel that at a very subconscious level, that if we have the rug pulled out from under us, it's because we're really on a deep level ready to go to the next level, but we're holding on. And I have a friend in ministerial, her name was Nan Shelley, and she used to say, everything I let go of, I left claw marks. I didn't want to let go.
I love it.
And so, we're hanging on here.
Right.
And finally the universe says, no. And, we're thrust, we're thrust out.
Yeah.
And really above. So when, we land with a thump, and we've all landed with a thump. And I'm reminded when I was on the Nobel Peace Prize Commission in Norway, and I was walking in the snow, but it was icy, and I just hit a place, I went up and
Oh
out,
no.
right down on my you-know-what, keister.
Oh no.
And this gentleman came by and he helped me because we've all done it. We've all done it. So we've all fallen on our keisters, and now we need a little help up, right? So energetically, when we're ready to go to the next level, if we're resistant, the universe is going to unpry us and we're going to go. Yeah. So there's a surrendering process.
Be open to it.
Yes, the surrendering process. And I loved what the Master Jesus said when he said, I of myself can do nothing, but there's a presence within me that does the work.
Right.
There's an energy within. He said, the Father within me does the work. And if we open to the universe.
That's
and
it.
know that that energy is flowing through us, and we tap into it. And this moves beyond color, race, creed, sexual orientation, and I added political affiliation, because this is all inclusive. We're all in this thing called life together.
That's it.
Aren't we?
Oh, we are.
So it moves beyond all of those labels, and we are part of the human family. We're brothers and sisters. And when we really understand that, there's a compassion that rushes in. So as I was sharing earlier about, this person sitting at your table, that I could draw the larger circle, and I could, include her
Yes, you get that.
in this energy field, because obviously, the universe put her there for a reason.
And sometimes it's to test us.
It is.
It is to test us.
Yeah,
sometimes.
and I didn't hit her over the head with anything. I just drew the larger circle and included her.
That's right.
And with compassion
Yes,
also.
right.
So this does not happen overnight. We get to do our work. And every time we have an energy charge, that's unfinished business. Hallelujah! Unfinished business that has come up so we can heal it.
Right.
Because if we can't feel it, we can't heal it. So when we heal those issues, we no longer have an energy charge.
What do you hope to do for the long run that you have in life now?
Thank you. Thank you.
To not only make yourself feel that you have given a legacy, what would you like to do? What out there
I think
have
that-
not, I mean, you've done everything, but what would you, sometimes there's a little something that, I've always wanted to do that, but I put it aside for some reason.
Yeah, our list,
Yeah.
our list. And, I feel this way, that every day is that kind of an experience, and energetically, and that I put it out there that I wanted to speak in Cambridge at the university, and I did. I wanted to speak in Oxford,
And you did.
I did.
And you did.
And so I'd like to speak at Carnegie Hall in our own country, and share this wonderful way of life that moves beyond color, race, creed, sexual orientation, and political affiliation, that we are all one. And there is something online called the Oneness Declaration, and you can Google it and you can go and sign it. And it is beautiful. It's that we're all one energetically. We're all part of the human family. And that in the dawning of the spiritual sun, for a moment, all faiths became as one. The Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, Jew became as one, and somehow knew that mystic voice that calls to me, oh, yonder person, I am thee. We are one.
I have to tell you, on Passover time, Chaplain Dove and I, do a Seder. And at that Seder, we had 28 people, I believe it was, Muslim, Buddhist, Catholic, Jew, Presbyterian, you name it, at that table. And it was the best. We've been doing it now for 10 years. It is phenomenal. We'll have to do it with you, because it just brought everyone as a one together. Even if they thought about it and never did it, but when you do something like that, I think it's like you say, in a spirit of peace and blessing abound, I open to a new day. But the most important thing that you do, Dr. Sharon Stroud, is that you open yourself and you give of yourself. A lot of people talk about it, and they talk what we say, quote unquote, sometimes a game. That they believe it, but it's more for them than anyone else. I don't get that from you. And I don't think your congregations get that. I think my audience gets what I'm getting, is that what you do is you open up your mind, body, and soul.
Thank you.
To the universe and to the world, to bring them in.
Thank you.
And that, I think, is the blessing of Dr. Sharon Stroud. I'm just in awe, everyone. I have here sitting a lady that has won accolades from you name it. I mean, what was your most, for the time that we have, what was your most prized accolade?
The Human Rights Award.
When was that, dear
It
heart?
was about 10 years ago. And I just thought it was a great acknowledgement of my work, that I have been right out there, and since the 60s, we were the game changers. For
I
the
love
60s.
it. Yes, you were. That's right.
And it was make love, not war.
Right.
And so when the Palm Springs Human Rights Commission gave me that award, I just said, of everything I've ever experienced, and I have a star on the Palm Springs Walk of Star as well.
I love it.
And I said, this is the most meaningful. The other's fun, you
Yes,
know. It's fun.
yes.
People are acknowledging us.
Right,
I'm a Leo.
right.
I love all the attention too. But to have your
That was
life's work
special. Yes,
acknowledged,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I thank everyone out there today. As I said, and I could cry sometimes, Doctor, because I honestly believe that a life like yours, that is so well lived, for our benefit out there, is a blessing to us to have you. And I thank you. I know my audience thanks you.
Thank you.
And we will have Dr. Stroud back again, because to me, your message is a universal one for everyone out
Thank
there.
you. This has been such a joy and a pleasure
you.
and a privilege to be with you.
I love this lady. And again, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And we will see you next time. God bless every one of you. Thank you. We were talking. I love it.
I'm gonna live till I die. I'm gonna laugh